Okay. Hey guys, it's Dana and it's Tuesday and I'm going to talk about money and I want to talk about being weird. Are you weird or are you normal? I know what I am, so let's talk about that. So I tell my children all the time to be weird. I think weird is a positive term. I love being weird. If you look at what everyone else is doing, it's usually the safest bet to go in the opposite direction. And being normal really does suck. And the reason why is because 75% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck or feel as if they are living paycheck to paycheck. And that's a really stressful situation to be in. I know because we have been there and it is just awful. It makes you feel like you're drowning and you're sort of walking through life in this comatose state. It is just the worst feeling ever. But 75% of Americans feel that way, that's the norm. That is normal. And I do not want to be normal in that way. So that makes our family weird. And so I was searching online and I found a couple other articles discussing, typical habits of Americans. And so I wanted to share that with you. And the first article was from howmuch.net. And in that article that I found, they talk about how Americans spend their money. And you can see there's a graph on here and it shows that 15% goes towards transportation. And the average American car payment is $479 a month right now, I believe. And that is just a ton. That is a ton of money out of your monthly budget to be going towards your car. And then also 32.9% goes towards housing. So if you're trying to cut your monthly budget or to save money, the two main categories to look at are going to be housing and transportation. So if you can lower or get rid of your car payment or lower your house payment, lower your rent, that's going to really help you out overall. And for us, our house or housing is 20% of our monthly budget. So we are way below that, which means we are weird. And then our car, we don't have any car payments. We don't borrow money. So we have no car payments. So that category for us is 1% or something for gas and car insurance. It's also weird, apparently, to budget monthly. And this article says that only 1 out of 3 Americans even know what their money is going towards. That's crazy to me. And I found it interesting that on here that cash contributions, which I assume is charitable donations, is only 3%. That is so low. That is so sad. On lendedu.com, I found an article that was talking about school loans. And school loans are the number one thing that I just loathe. I cannot stand school loans. People think that they are so normal. Everywhere I go, people are talking about them, how, in my work, how their children are getting school loans, or they want them to have some skin in the game. So I think it's a good thing that they get school loans. And I don't say a word, but because I know it's normal. It is normal to have a school loan. I think that Americans have on average, I think in 2017, the data was released that about $26,000 is what the average school loan is when people graduate school. And that's about right, I believe. And I just think that that is crazy when you look at this article and it talks about what this debt does to people. So you can see on here it says that 34% of borrowers delayed having or starting a family because of their school loans, and 28% delayed getting married. And then also, you can see at the top here, 30% moved in with their parents because of the debt. I mean, that's just, to me, that's insane. It's horrible. So because of these loans, their life is obviously impacted in a big way. And who knows how long getting married or having children or moving out on their own is being delayed because of these school loans. They are so debilitating. I just, I hate them. The average American has about $15,000 in credit card debt. So again, if you want to be weird, then you do not want to be using credit cards. You want to get rid of those credit cards, get them out of your life because it's normal to use credit cards. I also found that 23% of men and 22% of women have less than $100 in their savings account, which means they have virtually zero savings. They have no emergency fund. And so I don't want to be that kind of normal. The New York Daily News reported that Americans spend 5 hours every day watching TV. That number just really blew me away. That's 5 hours every day that you could be doing something productive. You could be working a second job. You could be growing your YouTube channel. You could be doing so many other things that are better for your mind, for your spirit, for your family most likely. But 5 hours a day is a lot of time you're watching TV, and that number just goes up the older you get. I think it's like 7 hours a day if you are retirement age. And this next one is interesting to me. We do not have a pet. When I was growing up, we had 2 dogs. We had like 4 cats at one time. We had gerbils, hamsters, chameleons, not all at the same time. Some of them, yes, at the same time. What else did we had? We had a turtle. Did I say that? We had a lot of pets, so many pets. And I actually even I owned a pet sitting business for a little while, so I was really into pets. I liked animals, but we do not have a single pet right now in our family. Pets are expensive. They cost money. And I learned that from watching my mom and seeing what she went through. You have to buy pet food, you take them to the vet. You know, they have medical emergencies that you may not have insurance coverage for. Most likely you don't unless you're spending a lot of money on pet insurance. And that can really be heartbreaking when you love your pet. And I loved our pets. I love them. But 68% of Americans have a pet. And I found that interesting. Like I said, I love pets, but we do not have a pet. I do think pets are very expensive. And so it's something to think about. I don't know that a lot of people think about how it's going to impact your family financially. So there it is. We are weird in the fact that we don't have a pet. Okay, a couple other things that I couldn't really locate online anywhere, but my family, we do go to church every single Sunday. I think that's probably pretty weird. And I did find one article that said that there's a growing number of people who are going more regularly to church. Like that number is increasing, not decreasing, which is a good thing. But I think that makes our family weird that we do that, because out of most of the people I meet, they don't do that. They don't go every Sunday to church. And I don't know why, because Sunday school rocks. Sunday school is like the best thing ever for the kids. And it's like, I am so grateful to the Sunday school teachers because it gives me an hour where all the kids are with someone Sunday morning. And we live so close to our church that I drive home and I have 45 minutes to run around the house and clean the house while there's no kids in the house. And it has actually, I really look forward to that. I especially did so a year ago, 2 years ago when the kids were younger, but it's just, I love I don't know how people don't take advantage of that. It's free childcare for an hour. All right, other weird things about our family is that we don't drink. That's just, I did find that statistic online. They said, I don't know, there's a high number, like 60% of Americans drink every day. So we don't drink alcohol, which is, good for our budget because it costs money to buy that. So that's weird. We're weird for that reason. So what are the things that you think make you and your family weird? I would love to hear below in the comments. I love being weird. I'm proud to be weird. I need a t-shirt that says I'm weird. So it's the best thing ever, in my opinion, to go the opposite direction that everyone else is going. I sometimes feel like if everybody is going that way, then that is the path to sudden death. So I really enjoy being weird. Obviously, I am very weird because I do YouTube. That's something that is not really, most people have no idea what that means, which I don't really talk about that in my real life because people don't get it. They just don't understand. Like they would look at me like I had 10 heads if I were to say, oh, I'm a YouTuber. They just would not know what that meant at all. So I don't talk about it. Sometimes, and people have come to me and said they found me, and that's fantastic. I'm always shocked when that happens. But then at least I feel like they kind of understand, and I'm glad to talk about it with them. But I do not bring it up otherwise because people just don't get it. It makes me weird, really weird. All right, so if it's your first time here, I am here every single Tuesday talking about money. We're a family of 6 in the Philadelphia area, and we live our life on a budget. And I hope to encourage you to do so as well and to live debt-free. And I will talk to you guys in the next video. Okay, bye.